Finally, good gracious, I apologize everybody for the delay with tonight's break. We have had some mighty technical difficulties that frankly are attributable to me. So I apologize for the delay. We had a little snafu with our broadcasting software, but luckily our amazing technical director was able to troubleshoot it and get it corrected. So again, I apologize. I know it was a kind of a pain to have to wait a half hour for us to get everything going. If anybody's listening, could you do me a favor and put in the chat if you can hear me okay? I just want to make sure the audio is good before we start getting into our randomization. And since we're so late, I'm just going to give it a minute or two for people that want to come in and watch so they can. And I need to get our lists and everything set up because I actually rebooted the computer. Normally I have everything set up, the randomizer, the whole bit. I have everything set up, but with our troubles, I rebooted the computer a couple times thinking that that would solve the issue. So I've got to get our list set up. Oh, great. Thanks you all. Chris and Dale, Matt, I appreciate you letting me know that you can hear me okay. It'll just take me a second to get the randomizer set up and our Google Sheet set up, but whew, that was a little scary. I'm not afraid to admit it. When you've done a few of these, you just kind of take it for granted that you get everything set up on the computer and everything's going to work just fine like it always does, and then all of a sudden one day it doesn't. And it's a little terrifying. I'm just glad that it's working now. Hopefully the CPU on our computer won't throttle. I don't think it will. It should be fine. All right. Looks like the CPU is calming down a little bit now. Good. If there are any shakes or anything, I apologize for that too. I've had to open everything out of sequence and our CPU is super finicky for whatever reason. I don't know why. I think it probably hates me, which is why I'm going to get a new computer for Christmas. That is actually at the top of my list. All right, so we've got that set up. Give me 1 second to set up our randomizer and we'll be ready to go. Hope everybody's had a wonderful Black Friday. Hope you're able to find a bunch of stuff. Dale, it's still in progress. It still hadn't sold out yet. Sometimes it takes some of those a little while to sell out. Frankly, it does for all of our breaks. I don't think any of them sell out real quick. Just the nature of the break, having so many, you know, it's a lot different than selling a random team where you've got 30 or 32 teams. It's a little different when you have 300 players. It takes a little bit of time, unfortunately. All right, so I've got everything set. We'll change our view to the randomizer. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started after our significant technical rain delay. We use that word, it sounds less intrusive. So as normal, all of our breaks, everybody's listed in the randomizer in the order that they purchased their spots. So in this particular break, we've got Ty DEM 12 at the top. He bought the first spot, and then Sucan WAYN at the bottom, closing us out. So we're going to hit the randomizer 5 times, and then we'll match it up against an alphabetical checklist from the product. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and lucky number 5. And we've got Sucan WAYN at the top, and let's see who we've got at the bottom. And we've got Happy Holidays at the bottom. So we'll go ahead and put that in our Google Sheet. And I'm going to cut and paste it over and sort it by buyer name. That way I don't have to bore you all into an early slumber reading everybody's names off a bazillion times. There we go. All right. Finally. Blow this up a little bit. Bold it. All right. So let's get started. So 09 Cardaholic has Chris Moore, John Kuhn, Michael Thomas, and Quandre Diggs. Two Toes 12 has Amon Green, Joe Flacco, Moritz Boehringer. Ace 2468 has Vance Johnson. AUS Key 0 has Bob Lilly, Charkandrick West, Eric Kendricks, and Jerry Rice. BSBR_7 has Jeremy Langford and Stephon Anthony. CAGCHA VHWOIN has David DeCastro. Cali 8 Ballin 1 has Rico Gathers and Steve Atwood. Candy Holly has Cam Chancellor. Card Shark 78 has Andre Reed and Frank Clark. CCAG 1124 has Eric Armstead. Chris 5 Dub 12 has Adam Vinatieri, Cardell Jones, Caleb Jones, Dak Prescott, Dick LeBeau, Eli Manning, Jacoby Brissett, Roger Craig, Ron Jaworski, Thomas Davis, and Wendell Smallwood. CLB 4 CGAB has Cole Beasley, Greg Olson, Jim McMahon, Lawrence Thomas, and Von Miller. D-Date MA has Christian Hackenberg, Joey Bosa, Julius Peppers, Kevin Green, Rashard Higgins. DEBAILA 0 has Paul Perkins. Derek Holt 8 has YA Tittle. Dom Steph has Artie Burns, Derek Watt, Derek Brooks, and Des Bryant. Doug Pelusa has Paul Horning. L4US has Tim Brown. Fallout 11 has Tyreek Hill. Fatboy 25 has Alex Collins. Rocket Gilmore, Joe Namath, and Terrell Davis. Fender Guitars 23 has Mason Crosby. Derek Fisher has Kelvin Taylor, Marvin Jones, Mike Grable, and Thomas Rawls. Gary Jr. 9788 has Aaron Burbridge, Andy Dalton, Austin Johnson, DeAndre Hopkins, J.J. Watt, Jamison Crowder, Laquan Treadwell, Sebastian Janikowski, Stephon Diggs, and Sterling Shepard. Happy Holidays has Antonio Brown, Delaney Walker, Jeremy Hill, Nick Mangold, Ozzie Newsome, Peyton Manning, Roger Staubach, and Zach Ertz. HDK has Joe Theismann. Hemi 7872 has Cedric. Oh boy, I can't pronounce that. Y'all can see it on the screen though, hopefully. Hearn 5800 has Amir Abdullah, Anthony Harris, Chris Ivory, Daryl Rivas, DeMarcus Ware, Dexter Manley, Earl Campbell, Emmanuel Sanders, Jeff Saturday, Jordan Howard, Jordan Richards, Luke Copley, Marcus Allen, Pharaoh Cooper, Randall Cobb, Ricardo Lewis, Roberto Aguayo, and Trevor Davis. Hop Wasil has Allen Robinson, Dan Hampton, David Johnson, Desmond Trufant, and Kiko Alonso. Jamal 62 has Delvin Brio, Earl Thomas III, Edgerrin James, Jaron Curse, Joe Thomas, Josh Doxson, Josh Gordon, Justin Forsett, Lael Collins, and Michael Bennett. Jarrobe 41 has Eli Apple. Jay Billings 2551 has Braxton Miller, CJ Preuss. James Stark, and Morton Anderson. Jimmy Holshey's 0 has Antonio Freeman, Champ Bailey, Ed Reynolds, Ezekiel Elliott, Paxton Lynch, Travis Swanson, and Willie McGinnis. JKKHA has Isaiah Burst. Josh Hack has Hines Warren and Lamar Miller. JOSHNUS has Brian Urlacher and Jalen Smith. JRBREBE28 has Alan Hearns, Antonio Gates, Brett Favre, Brian Mitchell, Derrick Henry, Doug Flutie, Earl Wolf, Eddie Lacy, Ernest Gibbons, Fran Tarkington, Jamal Charles, Jim Kick, Jim Zorn, Jimmy Ward, Kenny Bell, Kenyon Drake, Marcus Smith, Preston Brown, Scott Crichton, Tony Dorsett, Trevor Simeon, Tyler Evert, Tyler Hybe, Vaughn Bell, and Warren Moon. KENKEUS has Brandon Allen. Kent284 has Shaq Lawson, Troy Aikman, and Vernon Hargraves III. King James X has CJ Anderson, Charlie Joyner, DeForest Buckner, Demarcus Robinson, Dion Lewis, James Bradbury, Jarvis Landry, Jerome Bettis, Gerald Freeman, Carl Joseph, Kelvin Benjamin, Kenny Clark, Malcolm Mitchell, Nate Orchard, Phil McConkey, Philly Brown, Rob Ninkovich, Sheldon Rankins, Steve Young, and Tajay Sharp. Elbeck 6480 has Chris Smith, Gary Barnridge, Mackenzie Alexander. Loveox has Andres Pete, Corey Harkey, DeAndre Washington, Robert Kelly, and Trey Williams. Main Man Monday has Cameron Hayward, Devontae Booker, James White, Jim Kelly, Robert, I never can pronounce that. Hopefully y'all can see it on the screen. And TJ Jones. Matzar 2010 has Charles Haley. Mr. Brightside 417 has Ashawn Robinson, Austin Hooper, Blake Bortles, Brian Cushing, Carl Eller, Carson Wentz, Connor Cook, Dan Bailey, Darren Woodson, Deion Jones, Drew Brees, Drew Pearson, Eric Dickerson, Eric Weddle, Franco Harris, Gail Sayers, Geno Atkins, Heath Miller, Icky Wood, Jeremy Macklin, Joe Green, Joe Hayden, Jordan Payton, Josh Shaw, Kalen Clay, Keenan Reynolds, Keith Mumphrey, Kenneth Dixon, Kevin Bard, Marshall Falk, Marshall Lynch, Mike Singletary, Preston Smith, Quentin Rollins, Ray Guy, Rod Woodson, TJ Carey, Travis Benjamin, Travis Kels, Will Fuller V, and Yannick Ngaku. M-Star 1265 has Aaron Donald. Nad Collins 0 has Reggie Ragland and Richard Matthews. NDUSYRC has Steve Largent and Taylor Heineck. NIAZ has Todd Gurley. PACRL Corp has Alex Smith, Brandon Coleman, Carl Davis, DeMarcus Ayers, Eric Berry, Jackson Jeffcoat, Kamale Correa, Kenyon Barner, Kevin Hogan, and Ryan Fitzpatrick. PA Jules has Jalen Ramsey. Pupio 43 has Javier Bogjiamala, Keith Marshall, Mark Chimura, and Ray Lewis. Richard Crocs 26 has Cyrus Jones, Jared Goff, and Tony Lippett. Riho Fan has Ben Roethlisberger, Cody Core, Doug Martin, Jalston Fowler, Jameis Winston, Jaron Reed, Jordan Matthews, Mike Tolbert, Richard Dent, and Russ Grimm. Ripdog 1 has Bill Bates. Rob's Out 47 has Sean Mannion. Sambone 2004 has Archie Manning, Deion Buchanan, John Elway, L.C. Greenwood, Matt Jones, Muhammad Wilkerson, Terry Bradshaw, Thurman Thomas, and Tyler Irvin. Sammy 007 20012 has Derek Carr, Devin Funches, Julius Thomas, Keanu Neal, Kevin Mulway, Mark Schlereth, and Ryan Shazier. Sandy K. Dudek has Brian Bosworth, Deion Sanders, Emmanuel Ubah, Jamie Collins, Jeff Driscoll, John Dornbos, Mark Barron, Matt Forte, Miles Jack, Rod Streeter, Russell Wilson, Teron Ward, Tony Romo, Torrey Holt, Tyler Boyd, Tyler Murphy, and William Jackson III. Shure 92286 has Brashad Perryman. Skeeter 662 has Frank Gore. Slim Mexicano 6 has Emmett Smith. SPESAUN 89 has Bruce Smith and Nick Vinette. Sports for Life 91 has John Hanna, Kendall Wright, and Matt Hazel. Steve Stanley 488 has Richard Sherman. Sucan WAYN has AJ Green, Adam Godis, Andrew Luck, Barry Sanders, Bill Parcells, Boomer Esiason, Braden Cooks, Brandon Doty, Brandon McManus, Brett Keisel, Brock Osweiler, Chris Dolman, Chris Jones, Chris Spielman, Clay Matthews, Corey Coleman, Dan Marino, Danny Woodhead, Dermonte Dawson, Ed Reed, Fred Dreyer, Hunter Henry, Jermaine Kearse, John Brown, Jordy Nelson, Justin Hardy, Kivare Russell, Kendall Fuller, Kevin Dodd, Cordell Stewart, Kurt Warner, LaDainian Tomlinson, Lorenzo Malden, Marcus Mariota, Mark Gastineau, Michael Pruitt, Neil Smith, Noah Spence, Paul Dawson, Ronnie Lott, Ryan Khalil, Steve Grogan, Steve Tasker, Sue Cravens, TJ Yeldon, Teddy Bruschi, Trey Waynes, Troy Brown, Walt Garrison, and Zaven Howard. TMYE7782 has Andrew Billings, Christian Okoye, Cody Kessler, Doug Baldwin, and Jason Witten. And TIDEM12 has Danny Shelton, James Harrison, Nate Sudfeld, Randy White, and Victor Cruz. US Ramic has Aaron Rodgers, Ed Too Tall Jones, Giovanni Bernard, and Kenny Lawler. Video Games and Games has Leonte Carew. Waggill has Eddie George. Webmark 2012 has Demarius Thomas, Haloti Ngata, Jake Ruddock, Randall Cunningham, and TJ Green. And Zach Coon 0 has Eric Rowe. Alrighty, now that we've went through the list, give me just a second to move my chair and we'll open the boxes and see what we get. All right, let's see what we've got. We've got 3 boxes here. Each box has 4 autograph cards. So, let me turn the light on real quick. I knew there was something I was missing. There we go. All righty, lit up a little better now. So, here's our first box. I'm going to set these 2 back a little bit so I have a little room. All right, box number 1. Let's cut into it and see what we have. All right, get my sleeves ready. just like to sleeve these as we pull them. First card up, Kenny Lawler, Seahawks. Second card, and it is serial numbered 250, is Quentin Rollins for the Packers. You can see there at the top, serial numbered 44 out of 50. And the dreaded and feared Panini reward points. We'll random this to everybody at the end of the break. Set this here. And then our last autograph in the box is Jarrell Freeman of the Bears. All right. And that was box number 1. On to box number 2. Whoa, got a big one on out front here. So, look at this. Christian Hackenberg, jersey, autograph, and that is serial numbered 3 out of 3. Get a little bit bigger sleeve for this. It's quite a card. Not something you see too regularly out of these packs. Nice patch autograph there for the Hackenberg spot. Next up, Jalen Ramsey, Jaguars, and that is serial number 26 out of 50. And our next card is Chris Jones, Chiefs. And the last card in box number 2, Earl Wolf, Jaguars. All right, and that was box number 2. On to our third and final box. And card number 1, Steve Tasker, Buffalo, a blast from the past. Card number 2, Preston Smith, gold parallel, and that is serial numbered 4 of 25, as you can see there in the upper left-hand corner. And it would appear we have another rookie autograph jersey card. Kenyon Drake. Nice card there for the Drake spot. All right. And our last card in our last box is Cody Core for the Bengals. So let's do the random for our reward points and see who wins that, and then we'll go through the rest of the cards and see who's won. Need just a second to get our random setup. We'll use the same list that we did for the initial randomization. All right, we've got everybody listed in random again in the same order, from start to finish. We're going to randomize the list 3 times, and whoever's at the top of the list after the third go around will get the 250 Panini points. Once. Twice. And lucky number 3. And Webmark 2012 gets the Panini points. You can see we randomized it 3 times. All right. So let's go through the rest of our list and see who has won what. So our Cody Core autograph goes to Riho fan. Congrats. And then our Kenyon Drake jersey autograph card goes to J. Reeby 28. Congrats on that. Our gold Preston Smith autograph, serial number to 25, goes to Mr. Brightside 417. Our Steve Tasker Blast from the Past autograph goes to Sukan WAYN. Congrats. Our Carl Wolf was not on the check, or was that's Earl Wolf, no wonder. Goes to J. Reeby 28, double winner, congrats. Chris Jones. Our Chris Jones goes to Sukan WAN. Our Jalen Ramsey autograph to 50 goes to P.A. Jules. Our Christian Hackenberg patch autograph, serial number to 3, goes to D. Datema. Congrats. I'm assuming back in the year of issue that probably would have been the case yet. Not so much now since he is, I believe, out of the league. Still a nice looking card though, nice patch. Our Jarrell Freeman goes to King James X. Our Quentin Rollins autograph goes to Mr. Brightside 417. And then our Kenny Lawler goes to U.S. Ramick. All right. All right, we'll do a quick run through of the cards once again. There's our points. Kenny Lawler, Quentin Rollins to 50, Terrell Freeman, Christian Hackenberg rookie patch autograph, serial number to 3, Jalen Ramsey autograph, serial number to 50, Chris Jones, Earl Wolf, Steve Tasker, Preston Smith Gold, serial number to 25. Our Kenyon Drake jersey autograph. And then Cody Core, our last card pulled in the break. So that does it for tonight's break. Again, I want to apologize for the delay. I'm very sorry for that. There were some technical issues beyond my control, but I was glad we were able to get them fixed in somewhat of a reasonable time. But again, I do apologize for the delay. We always pride ourselves on being prompt and starting when we're supposed to, but we had something that we just couldn't wrangle this evening. But again, I thank everybody for their patience, both tonight and waiting for the break to sell out. We appreciate obviously everyone that bought spots on the break tonight, and I hope that everyone enjoys the rest of their Thanksgiving weekend.